Attention passionate Cleveland, BROWNS FANS. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Cleveland Browns' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Cleveland Browns fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Cleveland, BROWNS FANS. Let's get to the news now, Browns fans, buckle up, because the NFL offseason is heating up in ways that could reshape the entire landscape of the AFC North, and maybe even the entire conference. And no, we're not talking about some minor roster tweak or a free agent signing. This is about a potential game changer, a move so bold that it has the entire league watching closely. It centers around Shedeur Sanders, the young quarterback out of Colorado, a player whose future in Cleveland is shrouded in uncertainty, yet whose potential has captured the attention of analysts, fans, and rival teams alike. Shedeur Sanders, for those who haven't been following him closely, is a name that's been buzzing since he declared for the NFL draft. Coming from a powerhouse college program in Colorado, where he shined as a leader and a prolific passer, Sanders entered the league with high expectations. But as a rookie, he finds himself in a very tricky spot. Cleveland, as we all know, has a competitive quarterback room, with Deshaun Watson leading the charge, of course. But for Shedeur, the path to becoming the starting quarterback isn't guaranteed, far from it. He's competing against other talented young players like Dillon Gabriel, and with 4 quarterbacks battling for the same spot, the stakes are high. Now, let's talk about the bigger picture. Shedeur's performance in training camp and preseason games will be crucial. If he shows flashes of brilliance, if he demonstrates that he can elevate the Browns' offense, then the discussion about his future will heat up even more. But if he struggles or shows inconsistency, well, then the Browns might consider a different route. And that's where the trade rumors start to swirl. Because, believe it or not, Cleveland is reportedly open to trading Sanders if the right offer comes along, an offer that could include a valuable asset, perhaps even a first-round pick in the upcoming draft or something that helps them build for the future. Many experts praise Shedeur's arm talent, his football IQ, and his leadership qualities. The narrative that he had attitude issues or off-field problems has largely faded, replaced by a focus on his talent and potential. Still, he has some hurdles to clear in his rookie campaign. For example, recent headlines pointed out that Sanders was caught in a bit of trouble after receiving 2 speeding tickets. Not exactly the kind of headlines a young quarterback wants to make early in his career, but it's something that can be worked through. But let's step back for a moment and analyze what this all means for the Browns. Cleveland's front office is in a unique position. They hold their own first-round pick in 2026, along with a valuable first-round pick acquired from the Jacksonville Jaguars. That's a significant asset, and many believe it makes Cleveland a prime location to target a franchise quarterback in the next draft, or even to trade for a proven veteran if the right opportunity arises. The possibility of Shedeur Sanders being part of that trade, either as the centerpiece or as a bargaining chip, is a real scenario. If he performs well in the upcoming season, his value skyrockets, and other teams might come knocking, especially those in need of a quarterback. Imagine a scenario where Sanders, if he plays at a high level, becomes a hot commodity on the trade market. Teams like the New Orleans Saints, New York Giants, or even the New York Jets could be looking for a young, talented quarterback to develop and lead their franchise. Cleveland, with its draft capital and a competitive roster, could leverage that to land a veteran or a future franchise signal caller. Conversely, if Sanders struggles or fails to impress, the Browns might decide to keep him as a backup or develop him further behind Watson, giving him more time to grow. But what's truly intriguing is the narrative that's emerging around Shedeur's media impact. Despite being a rookie, Sanders has a certain charisma and presence that resonates with fans and media alike. His story, his background, and his potential make him a fascinating figure in this off-season drama. Some analysts believe that his media appeal alone could influence the Browns' decision-making process. If he continues to impress in interviews, training camp, and preseason games, the Browns might be inclined to hold on to him, hoping he develops into a future star. But if other teams show serious interest, and if there's a strong offer on the table, Cleveland might pull the trigger, especially if they believe that trading him could accelerate their rebuild or help them acquire a proven veteran. It's a delicate balancing act, and it all hinges on how Sanders performs in the coming months. The NFL is a league where potential often outweighs experience, and the Browns are no strangers to swinging for the fences. They've historically been aggressive in making moves that they believe will push them closer to a Super Bowl. This offseason, that philosophy could lead to a bold move involving Sanders, a move that might surprise many fans and analysts alike. Now, some of you might be wondering about the specifics of what Cleveland is looking for in return. Well, the word on the street is that they're not just interested in a draft pick or a backup player. They're eyeing a package that could include a veteran quarterback or multiple draft picks, possibly even a combination that positions them strongly for the 2026 draft. The Browns are in a position of strength because of their draft capital, and they're smart enough to capitalize on it if the right deal comes along. Let's not forget that Cleveland's roster is already competitive, with a strong defense led by Myles Garrett and a solid offensive line that has been rebuilt in recent years. The key to their success, however, has always been the quarterback position. Deshaun Watson, despite a rocky start last season, is still viewed by many as the franchise's future, but the team is also aware that they need to develop depth and talent behind him. Shedeur Sanders represents that potential, either as a future starter or as a valuable trade asset. Looking at the bigger NFL picture, the league is currently in a phase of transition. Several teams are searching for that franchise quarterback, and the market is quite active. The Jets, for example, invested heavily in Aaron Rodgers, but are always on the lookout for future options. The Giants have struggled to find consistency at the position, and the Saints are in a similar boat. Cleveland's strategic moves in this scenario could tip the balance of power in the AFC North and beyond. The AFC North itself remains one of the most competitive divisions in football, with the Cincinnati Bengals, Baltimore Ravens, and Pittsburgh Steelers all vying for supremacy. The Browns, with their strong defense and a developing offense, are aiming to break through and finally claim their place atop the division. The quarterback position is the missing piece, and whether it's Deshaun Watson or a young talent like Shedeur Sanders, the decision they make this offseason could define their trajectory for years to come. Now, for Browns fans, the excitement is palpable. We're talking about a potential seismic shift, an offseason story that could unfold in dramatic fashion. Will Cleveland hold on to Sanders and develop him into the quarterback of the future? Or will they trade him for a package that accelerates their championship ambitions? Either way, one thing is clear. This offseason will be remembered as one of the most pivotal in recent Browns history. And as we watch all of this unfold, it's important to remember that the NFL is a league built on stories, on players rising and falling, on bold moves that change everything in the blink of an eye. Cleveland has always been a team that's willing to take risks, and this situation with Shedeur Sanders might just be the next chapter in that long tradition of boldness. The Browns are on the cusp of something special, and whether they decide to ride the wave with Sanders or make a blockbuster trade, it's shaping up to be one of the most intriguing NFL stories of the year. Pause here, just for a second. If you want the YOUTUB algorithm to keep recommending the latest Cleveland Browns news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. So, Browns fans, what do you think? Are you excited about the possibility of Shedeur Sanders staying and developing into your franchise quarterback? Or do you believe Cleveland should cash in now and aim for a veteran or a high draft pick? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I want to hear your take on this whole situation. Your opinions are what make this community so special, and I love seeing how passionate you all are about the Browns. Remember, I'll be back soon with even more updates, rumors, and deep dives into everything Cleveland Browns. So stay tuned, stay passionate, and keep that Browns pride alive. Because this offseason is just getting started, and it's going to be one for the history books.